Hi everyone, welcome to another video on the double approach joseki. So in the previous video, we talked about this variation, right? So white plays a pressing attachment, black hane at number 9, and white extends. So this is all pretty standard, and the optimal move for black is to play this attachment underneath at the 3-4 point, d17 right here. And the optimal move for white is right here, number 12, and number 13. So these are all the optimal moves so far. And in the previous video, we talked about white connecting here, which is one of two optimal moves in this situation, at least according to AI, as of the date of this video, right? This conclusion might change sometime down the line, but this is one of the optimal moves. The problem with number 14 is that after black reinforces number 7 with number 15 here or here, or even here, there is going to be this push and cut. And I said that it's not great for white to spend a move to take care of this push and cut in exchange for number 17 here, right? So this will be very bad for white. So instead, what white should do is to try to jump out. But still, this is going to be a headache. If you're a beginner, Q player, down player, this is going to be a headache because your opponent kind of reserves the right to push and cut, and the corner might die, right? Which is pretty big. Although white will get a chance to play something on the outside and build a wall, but you may not prefer this as white. And that is why there's another move that you should learn at number 14, and that's right here. So this video will be dedicated to this move. It's relatively straightforward, not super complicated. In the next video, we'll talk about some of these other moves that are not optimal, right? Starting with number 11 could be elsewhere, number 12 can also be elsewhere, 13 can also be elsewhere, and 14 actually can also be elsewhere. So many other options that you might see in games we'll cover in the next video, but this is the actual AI joseki that probably will not be outdated, hopefully will not be outdated, but can't say for sure. All right, so what does number 14 here do? It obviously puts a lot of pressure on number 7. And it's basically saying, I'll take care of this weakness, right? Push and cuts, potentially. And I'm giving up the corner. That's what white is doing, because it's very easy for black to come into the corner. Black can play something like this. Not optimal, as we'll see in a moment. And now, if black plays here, it's coming into the corner, right? You can't play the double hane. This will do white's no good. Black can just capture white this way. But white can just play the hane on the outside. And black will probably push here. Playing the Atari here or here will be a little small, right? Because white has preserved a nice shape on the outside. And white doesn't really care what's going on with the corner because black has already invested a lot of moves here. So white is happy to take sente in this situation. Maybe just play something like this, forcing black to capture. And white has a nice shape on the outside. So black will probably push. Again, white can take sente or play something like this to finish the shape. If white doesn't play, then black might have this crosscut, which might be pretty harsh and can start a fight here. But white should be okay. White should be able to manage, I guess. And this is where I will not introduce the subsequent moves. You can use AI, you can try it out on your own. This will just lead to a fight. That's all you need to know. So that's number 15 here, 16 hane on the outside. Or white can just connect here, reserving the right to take back the corner, right? So now if black plays here, this is too small because black already has a nice shape. It's already pretty much alive. So black will probably play the hane on the outside. And now white will play this hane and take back the corner. This will be a living shape, most likely. And black will continue playing on the outside. It'll be something like this. So black will still need to take care of the group on the left. And black is already settled, white's already settled. So this is a acceptable variation for both sides. But the optimal move for black after number 14 is actually this push. It's keeping up the pressure on white. And in this situation, the best move for white is to connect here. White doesn't really have any other move, right? If you block here, then black has this Atari, which will cut white off. and this will probably not be good for white. If white plays here, then black can keep pushing, and there's another cutting point here, which is really annoying. If white connects here, then black can keep pushing. It seems like white will capture number 7, but black can keep building the wall here. It's actually really strong, and white actually still owes a move here. If white doesn't play, then black still has plenty of moves that might kill the corner, right? Plenty of moves here. So white will be in trouble. So white actually owes a move here, so this will not be good for white. So the only move for white is right here, right? This is the optimal move for white. So white is a pretty solid shape. And the next move for black is to try to come into the corner. So the next few moves will all be played on the corner, on the second line. And the reason why we play moves on the second line toward the beginning of a game, and in this case, as part of a joseki, is because both sides are trying to fight for eye space. In this case, black will win, right? So the next move for white is really important. So obviously you cannot play the double hane. Black can atari and capture, right? So white doesn't gain anything from sacrificing this stone. So number 18 here doesn't work. Intuitively, you might think this move, but this move also doesn't work in the situation because it's not forcing, and most important of all, it's not building any eyes, right? So black can pull out number 7 like this, but white will have a little bit of trouble making 2 eyes, where it will be very inefficient. So compare this pattern to right here, which is the correct move. So now if black ignores it, white can play this move. And now white is basically alive, right? It's very easy, much easier for white to make a living shape. So number 18 is the correct move. It's something that you kind of need to remember because it's not intuitive. And black's next move should be intuitive, right? You want to bake white into this shape by playing the atari. And the next move is also really important. It has to be this connection. So white is black, trying to save number 19 here. Normally, you wouldn't care about the stone on the second line at the beginning of a game. Again, the reason is because after number 21, this black group is already alive. It's very strong. It's already alive. Whereas the white group does not have any eye space. So white must play a move on the left side to kind of swallow number 7. White has 3 choices. This is more conservative. This one is recommended, but actually has a weakness. So AI actually suggests that black starts the fight right away in this situation. It'll be something like this. It's actually quite amazing because white is actually short on liberties, and AI recognizes that with number 23. And the situation will be something like this. So number 7 is already dead. Black will not be able to win any race to capture here. But black is really building a wall and enclosing white. So white will probably have to cut here and start a fight. Right? So those will develop into a fight. So that's number 23. Could be a headache, right? If you play something like this, then all of a sudden number 22 is cut off from this group. And this group, again, does not have any eye space. Right? If you cut here, probably not a good trade. Still doesn't have 2 real eyes yet. White still owes a move, right? Black can play this move and keeps white from having 2 eyes. So this probably doesn't work for white. So white will probably have to cut here, and I wouldn't prefer this as white. So that's why white probably should consider this move, and AI will suggest that black plays here right away, kind of an approach, keeping up the pressure on white. So as you can see, once black settles the group, black can play really aggressively here on the left side to keep up the pressure on white. So that's the idea behind this joseki. But of course, for amateur players, it'd be harder for black to pull off a successful attack on white. So white should be okay for now. So this is the joseki. After number 14 is pressing attachment. The good thing about this joseki is that white doesn't have any ticking time bomb left. But the bad thing about white is that it's giving up the corner. Black is already alive. You can't really attack black anymore. And black can still pull out number 7, right? It's not completely dead yet, right? But according to AI, this is a totally viable joseki. It's about even for both sides, and that's why we're learning this joseki. Another key, of course, is to understand exactly why both sides are playing on the second line here. It's really fighting for ice space. And usually fighting for ice space is the only reason why you should be playing on the second line at the beginning of a game. Lastly, I guess the question would be, what about black pushing here? And this should be pretty straightforward. White can block here. It seems like black can cut, but this will just lead to another fight. Because 25 and 27 are starting a new group, white is not really afraid, right? Because this will just be kind of an even fight. Or if black plays here, then white will all be connected. Of course, black can keep building a wall here, and white will probably come to the upper side to contest. So this is how it might play out. But of course, number 23 here is redundant, right? Normally, if you push and do not cut, then you don't push, right? You can just play something on the outside to keep building the upper side for black. So this is how it's going to develop. Hope that made sense. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. We'll keep discussing some of the other variations stemming from the double approach in our next video, so please stay tuned. And thank you for watching.